Hail Varsity Postgame show. We are live here in Lincoln at Beer House in the Haymarket. That's Austin Jacobson. I'm Ravi Lulla. And we're coming to you live after Nebraska falls to USC 21-17. And let me tell you, people are being pretty stupid already, Austin.
Yeah, not only that, but just in our chat, we love the chat. The chat we usually believe are people of
we
of
appreciate you being here.
We do think that you're great to be here. We appreciate the effort that you put in. It was a good blackout today, but ultimate result, 21-17 win for USC. Let's be real that this was not the game that we thought it was going to be in the second half, especially when number 15 went out of the game. The entire game plan goes out differently in this entire second half when Nebraska decides that are unable to put their starting quarterback back in because of whatever health, injury concern, whatever the case may be. The entire game plan goes out the window.
He got his ankle rolled up on pretty bad. When they showed the replay, like it looked like a defensive lineman kind of rolled up backwards on his ankle. It looked like a pretty serious injury in terms of the ankle for Dylan Raiola. You hope he's able to go next week. But I gotta say here, and I don't like getting mad this early, but I don't know how you look at this any other way than Nebraska lost this game because their starting quarterback and their starting left tackle got hurt on the same series.
Yeah, almost back-to-back plays. Like, legitimately back-to-back plays.
I think it was in 3 plays. I don't understand. Like, I get people are frustrated with the timeouts and the clock management. I get it. I do, right? But Nebraska lost the game because their starting quarterback and left tackle went out. Like,
it's crazy.
Listen, I'm seeing it in the chat. I'm seeing online on Twitter, whatever. Like, hey, just keep handing the ball off. Emmett had 29 carries.
How many more carries do you want EJ to
for
have?
165 yards. I don't know what you want him to do.
All right, Joe, I see you in chat. Black jerseys don't work. Burn the blacks. Never wear them again. This was an incredible environment, an incredible experience.
Yes.
Anyone that was in Lincoln at the stadium that had a great time at the environment tonight would have agreed with you that, again, I'm going to limit it to one single play. If number 15 does not get rolled up upon, this game maybe doesn't end differently, but we all have a different vibe with which we can be angry about.
Like, I don't know how you go anywhere past that. Like, yes, you get frustrated with the clock management. Yes, you get whatever. But, like, maybe it's possible, maybe that one of the timeouts was burned because your backup true freshman quarterback on 4th and 1 didn't feel comfortable with the play.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Matt Rule's not an idiot. Maybe. I don't know. Like, that seems pretty plausible, doesn't it? That your backup quarterback, who is a true freshman, didn't have the right play or didn't feel good about the play call on 4th and 1. Like, maybe that's possible. And maybe you've got a kicker who's made a 53-yarder on the season. You go, hey, instead of putting TJ Lateef in a place where he's not comfortable, maybe we let the kicker go out and try and get it done, right?
Let's be clear that this is not a loss that is like the other losses so far this season. Yes, Nebraska, I'm going to look you right in the camera when I say this. Nebraska football has been out of a college football playoff contender position. They are officially out. Let me be clear about that. But the minute that number 15 went down and out of this contest, the game was a very different game for Nebraska because if Dylan Raiola stays in this contest, it's a much different game because TJ Lateef's offense, we looked at each other the minute that Dylan walked out of that contest, you only had a select few number of plays that you actually could run to be able to be successful, even leading against USC in that second half.
Absolutely. Like, as soon as TJ Lateef comes in, you're down to, like, RPO, zone read, maybe one read and done. You want to cut down the field so he doesn't have to make reads and decisions that he's not ready to make yet as a true freshman quarterback. Like, I don't understand. Like, people are complaining about the defense. Listen, I get that they ran the ball really well today. I understand that. But this USC offense was averaging 530 yards per game. They had 337. That's 200 yards below their average.
Oh, so you mean the defense might have won this one?
They were averaging 42 points per game. They had 21. That is that is exactly half of what they were averaging on the season. Like, I get that it's frustrating to watch in real time. I get it. I hate watching King Miller go for 6, 7, seemingly 8 yards a carry. I get that. But look at what actually happened.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the story of what happened in this actual game.
Robbie, did we not say in the pregame of this contest when we were at Omaha Steaks and having a great time with the great people of Omaha Steaks, and we said, hey, if this is a field goal game for USC, Nebraska should win this one? Did the defense not make this a field goal game at multiple instances throughout that entire fourth-quarter contest?
They had 2 opportunities, both in the second quarter, that they turned from touchdown opportunities to field goal opportunities. That was a win for Nebraska. They had 2 touchdown drives. And by the way, USC ended up with exactly how many points that I expected them to in this game. I said 27-21 Nebraska. USC ends up with 21. If Nebraska's starting quarterback plays, I think they do end up with 27.
4 hours ago, if you would have told 90,000 fans inside of Memorial Stadium that USC only scores 21 points, 90,000 of them agree that Nebraska wins this goddamn football game.
They would take it. They would take it. They say, hey, they're going to score 21 points. They're only going to have 330 yards of total offense. You take that every day of the week.
21 points from the number 1 offense in college football. 21 points.
I don't know how else to say it. Nebraska lost this game because their starting quarterback and starting left tackle went out on the same drive. Like, there is no other way around that. You can get mad about whatever else you want to get mad about. You can. But that's why Nebraska lost this game. And if you want to go further, if you want to pick on the defense a little bit, the only thing that I will say,
nitpick if you want.
The only thing that I will say is, what did I say about Jaden Maeva? He was going to give you opportunities. He was going to give you opportunities. Nebraska only got one of them.
Yep.
Nebraska only got one of them. There was another one where Andrew Marshall turns around. He has an interception. There was a ball on a double covered deep route that hits Rex Guthrie in the hands after Andrew Marshall breaks it up. And we don't end up with an interception there either. If Nebraska is able to convert the balls that Jaden Maeva threw in danger into turnovers instead of just the one, then we are going to get there. Then we're talking about a totally different game here.
Yep.
Like, that's what this game was. You held USC 200 yards below their average. You held them to half of their scoring average. This was not a game that was lost by coaching or time management or whatever. If Nebraska's starting quarterback hasn't gone out and they lose the game, then we can start having a conversation about time management and things like that.
Yep.
The defense did what they needed to keep Nebraska in this game, and the offense was doing what they needed to until your starting quarterback and starting left tackle got hurt. EJ ran the ball 29 times. We talked about this all year. Yep. How many carries can we actually give EJ? 29 seems about like the max, right? Like, I don't know how many more carries.
How many more do you want to give him?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh, Ravi, run the ball more. Oh, we got to figure out a way to get Latif in the game. Oh, I am so sick of this conversation, because can you not tell at this point of the season that when the number 1 offensive option goes down, that you can finally tell, hey, maybe he's our number 1 guy. When Dylan Raiola finally was unable to go anymore, it finally showed itself that the defense played well enough against the number 1 offense in college football. They figured it all out. It was all good. I mean, come on. What are we talking about?
Like, I get it's frustrating. And listen, there's definitely, like, Nebraska left some points on the table even before EJ got hurt. I understand that. Like, that's a real, or even before Dylan got hurt. I understand that. That's a real thing. Like, there were opportunities there for them to get more points. But I don't understand sitting here and looking at this and feeling like that's why Nebraska lost the game. Because we can't know that. Like, there's no way to know that without having some sort of gauge without Dylan Raiola. Like, this is the first time in 2 years, year and a half, 22 games, whatever it is, that Nebraska hasn't had Dylan Raiola as their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do with that, except, hey, that's probably why they lost the game. That's probably why they only get 3 second-half points. I don't know how we should see anything around that. And I don't look at this and go, I mean, listen, I gotta give some credit to Tyler Knack for coming in, and for Turner Corcoran.
Yeah.
Because Corcoran goes from starting right tackle, who is really the third-string right tackle.
2 weeks ago, Turner Corcoran was not a part of this, like, offensive scheme in most regular reaction.
He was behind Gatula, he was behind Teddy Prohaska, and then it was him. He came in at right tackle and did, and honestly, I didn't think he did a bad job. Then he has to switch over to left tackle so Tyler Knack can come in after Elijah Pritchett gets hurt. And honestly, they still were able to run the ball pretty effectively.
Yep.
Right? Like, that is, like, I have to give credit there, because it was honestly pretty impressive the way they were able to fill in the gaps the way they had to, because that certainly wasn't in the game plan. You're down to your your 4th and 5th tackles on the team, and that's really not what we're talking about here. We're talking about time management and whatever else. Like, that is, somebody says fire Donovan. Like, what are you talking about?
If you think the offensive line was the issue today, I don't have an answer for you. Maybe maybe Rule needs to recruit more 5-star backup offensive tackles. I guess that's the solution. I guess. If you want to be upset about that, hey, listen, 1890's phone numbers are open right now. You can go call them. You can go donate whatever dollar amount you would like to. I don't know what to tell you in that scenario. What I can tell you is that there are positives from this game, but I'm upset with the fact that we didn't get to see the actual version of Nebraska that we deserve to see, and it's outside of all of our control. It's because of an ankle, knee, whatever injury it could be. And at this moment, in this juncture that we're at right now, there's only one thing that we should be upset about, and it's truthfully the opportunity. Nebraska should be upset with the opportunity that they had in front of them to close out a big November matchup.
It's a ranked team.
Are now 6-3 on the season, and they are out of college football playoff contention, Big Ten championship contention, all that good stuff. But the unfortunate part about it is that out of their control, they did not have the opportunity to win this game as which they should have, because their number one offensive option was not available in the critical moment in which they needed him. And again, it's not because Dylan's not tough enough. It's not because Dylan wasn't choosing to get back on the field. The guy kept his helmet on the entire second half of the game in which he was not able to go back on. There is clearly something wrong in the injury side of Dylan Raiola that the medical staff, head coach, whatever, said that he was not able to go, and that's why he did not play. For all you TJ Lateef stands, I'm with you. I think TJ Lateef is a great quarterback. I hope he stays in Nebraska as a backup. I hope he develops and becomes a great quarterback. But I cannot tell you with a full heart inside of this body that Nebraska lost this game because of anything that had to do other than the fact that their starting quarterback was not available for the most critical junctures of this contest.
Yeah, and listen, I have no idea if Nebraska wins the game if Dylan Raiola stays in or not. I really don't, right?
Listen, I don't want to be reactionary, but I'll tell you, we have physical proof that shows that Nebraska could win this type of contest with a quarterback with the jersey number 15 on his body.
I mean, we have seen multiple times this year where he led a drive the way TJ Lateef wasn't able to. And listen, Emmett Johnson slips, loses his footing on fourth down. I get that. That's not on TJ Lateef. But we've seen multiple drives this year where Dylan Raiola has gone out and won the game for Nebraska. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
I know exactly. But I'm not going to say that's a given. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee. I understand that even with Dylan, Nebraska isn't guaranteed to win this game. What I will say is once he went out, Nebraska's opportunities to win this game went down dramatically. They had a really difficult time. If you want to get on anything about the way the game was called, is I would have loved to have seen a little bit more Isaiah Mosey. Or I didn't love the way Mekhi Nelson was running. He only got one carry. Mosey only got one carry. But if you're talking about not running the ball enough, they ran the ball 40 times to 22 passes, so that's something. But if you're talking about not running the ball enough, I don't know how many more carries you could give EJ. 29 carries is a lot. If you're sitting here and telling me hey, one carry for Mosey and Nelson isn't enough, I'll hear that. I will. Because I would agree. I think if you're trying to run the ball and you get Lateef in there and you're like, hey, let's just get after it with the run, I'm willing to listen to that. I don't know, were you going to run Emmett Johnson 40 times? I don't understand that argument. If you're talking about maybe Mosey and Nelson, maybe I'll listen a little bit.
Yeah.
But Nebraska still ran the ball literally 2/3 of the time. They had 62 plays. They ran it 2/3 of the time. I don't know how you can argue about the run-pass differential there. Even before Dylan went out of the game, he only had 15 pass attempts. This was a game where they were committed to running the ball. EJ had 165 yards. He had a great game, but I don't know what you were expecting from him.
Yeah. And we looked at each other right during that contest and we just said, hey, listen, the biggest part of this contest, as soon as Lateef goes in, is RPO is wide open, but half of the field limits for you.
Yeah.
You did not have your full passing opportunity. You noticed it right away. Bubble opportunities, tunnel screens were going to be the passing options. And when they got in that final drive and they had to go down the field in the final 3 minutes, all their plays were within 7, 8, 10 yards. There wasn't really a whole lot of opportunity. But truthfully, starting freshman quarterback, what more are you expecting to do? I don't want to keep making this the Dylan Raiola fest, but truthfully, there's no other way to look at this game. Maybe I'm being self-centered.
I can't wrap my head around the way like some people are reacting to this because
okay, let me pitch this to you,
okay.
Ravi. Does the defense play differently if Dylan Raiola is still in this game in the second half?
Yeah, probably.
Does the offensive play style change if Dylan Raiola is in the game in the 100%. Second half? Does the fourth quarter drive to potentially take the lead in the final drive of the contest change because Dylan Raiola is in this game?
Yes.
Then what are we talking about? There's nothing else to say.
If I asked you before the game started that you would hold USC, the number one total offensive team in the country.
The number one offense in college football.
Top 10 scoring offense of the country. And you say, okay, hey, we're going to hold them to 330 yards, 200 yards below their season average.
And 21 points.
And 21 points.
Play. 21 points.
Which is half of what they're averaging on the season. And listen, even if you want to go deeper in that, like we did during the show this week, we did road conference game numbers instead, right? And road numbers against where they were down to 30 or 33 points per game. Still under that.
Yep.
Like you held them under whatever
against
average.
Power 4 opponents, you still held them underneath their average.
Like I don't know how you sit
32 points a game against Power 4 opponents, and you are 12 points below that average on the road in Big Ten play.
Against one of the best offenses in the country. Like full stop, one of the best offenses in the country. I don't know how you watch this game. I get in the moment that it's frustrating to watch King Miller run like that. I do. I get in the moment it's frustrating to watch Jaden Maeva run like that. I do. But I don't know how you can sit here after the game and looking at the stats and saying, Nebraska's defense did against USC. I believe that is their lowest point total on the season.
Yeah.
Before it was 24 against Notre Dame. I believe that's USC's lowest point total on the season.
Yeah.
I believe it's close to their lowest yardage total on the season.
All right, I don't
know how you sit here and say that that's the defense's fault.
Spunky, I hear you. I put you up on screen for a reason. Ravi, stop. You're sounding apologetic is what he's saying. Now, let me say this. Individual defensive players that we wanted to step up and make plays tonight.
Yeah.
I don't think made all the plays that we thought that they would.
Absolutely.
But hold on. Wait a second. Did Andrew Marshall not make an interception in a critical juncture in this contest?
He did.
Did Williams Nwaneri in the final 6 minutes of this game not make a second and third down stop when called upon? I mean, I know we want the big impact plays. We want a pick six. We want a forced fumble. We want a fumble recovery. We want all these big plays to happen. I get it. I hear you. I understand where you are coming from. Trust me, I am with you. I bleed the same Husker red that you do. I'm from this native state. But when it comes down to how it works out, how much more simply can I say that sometimes the other team's going to scheme against your best players too? Dasan McCullough nullified today. Did you not notice how often they ran away from 15 on the defensive side? A guy in a black jersey in Dasan McCullough did not make a big play today because he was limited in the USC's offense because they did not want him to make a play today. That is how that works.
You want to talk about guys not making plays today, okay? How often did we hear Sierra Wright's number called?
None. And I wonder why.
You want to know how many?
Tell me, Ravi. Tell me why did we not hear Sierra Wright tonight?
How many times did we hear Mekhi Lemon's number called?
That's a great question. Let me think about it. A couple of plays in that first half, but I didn't hear much in the second.
This is one of the best receivers in the country, Mekhi Lemon.
Maybe a first-round pick in the NFL draft.
I would say absolutely a first-round pick. He had 2 catches for 18 yards.
Well, but he's a first-round pick, so who is he guarded against?
Sierra Wright.
Oh, really?
I don't know how we look at this and just say, like, sometimes the other team makes plays. And your guys aren't going to make the plays every single time. That's not how football works. That's not how the best football teams in the country work. That's never how it works. I understand being frustrated. But, I don't understand how you cannot, once the game is over, take a step back and say, hey, the defense actually played well enough to win this game.
Yes.
The defense, I don't care what it felt like in the moment because that's not accurate.
Yeah.
Your emotions are getting the best of you. Mine are too.
Listen,
how many times do we look at each other and be like,
we lost the game?
Yes. How many times do we look at each other and get mad about the rushing yards by King Miller, and the reads by Jaden Maeva? But when you step back and look at what actually happened, the defense did everything they needed to go ahead and win that game.
Yep.
I have a really hard time with anybody that can't see that.
Yeah.
If you want to get on the offensive play calling and be like, hey, why are we running certain plays in this situation? Why are we if you want to get on some of that, and get into the nitty-gritty of it, okay. But overall, the defense played well enough to win this game. Full stop. There is no way around that.
All right, Ravi, I'm going to get you mad. You ready?
That's not being apologetic. That's just looking at a freaking box score.
Ravi, I'm going to get you mad. Matt in chat, Rule should be fired for what he did to TJ Lateef tonight. Please explain.
What did he do to TJ Lateef?
What did he do?
What did he do to TJ Lateef? What's wrong with you? What did he do? What did he do?
What did you want?
Did you want him to drop back 20 times?
Yes.
Because that would have been not a fireable offense, but that would have been putting TJ Lateef in a bad spot.
Oh, but Ravi, TJ Lateef, you didn't see him against Houston Christian. Did you not see the second half against him in an 11 a.m. game against an FCS opponent?
It's possible USC is better than Houston Christian. It's possible.
Color me shocked.
Here's the thing. Either they didn't run Emmett Johnson enough or they didn't let TJ Lateef cook. Which is it? Because it cannot be both. They did what they had to do to put TJ Lateef in the position they thought they could help him win in. They let him throw a couple times. They gave him some shot plays that they weren't able to complete. He threw a 50-50 ball in Isaiah that it wasn't able to come down with. He put that ball in a pretty good spot. What were you wanting from this situation? He's a backup quarterback. Do you people watch other college football games? Because I don't, do you see other backup quarterbacks? Do you see other backup quarterbacks? Not everybody has Trinidad Chambliss. That's not a real thing.
I know.
You know what? Because their backup quarterback, Austin Simmons, probably looks a lot like TJ Lateef.
You know what's crazy? I still like our backup quarterback. I
do
still
too.
like his chances.
I like TJ Lateef.
You know what's crazy?
He's a true freshman.
I'm not going to tell him to say, hey, listen, there's 3.5 minutes left in this game. We've got one timeout and a 2-minute crick. Hey, why don't you go after it? Get after it, young blood. Let's see what you got. Come on now.
What do you and listen? There's some people well, if you can't run the playbook, why is he the backup? He's the backup because he's a talented kid who's a true freshman. And go look at other people's backups. What are you talking about?
I know.
Arizona State, who had college football playoff aspirations and was in the college football playoff last year, has Jeff Sims as their backup quarterback. You want to bring him back? You guys want Jeff Sims back? What are we doing?
All right. Take a deep breath. Calm down, relax. Hey, listen, we're with our good friends here at Beer House Kincaid here in Lincoln. Very happy to be down here in the Haymarket. If you're hearing
very hospitable.
If you're hearing any of this external noise, the pretzels, the Kincaid Snow Beast is very good. We're happy to be here.
Pretzels were elite.
I do want to talk a little bit about positives, and let's say, generically speaking, I'm frustrated, and I don't want to talk about positives, but I'm trying my best because we got Hail Varsity Positive Postgame. We're 6-3. 3-3 in the Big Ten now? Yeah, regardless of what it is, I want to say this. Nebraska ever wants to pull that blackout again, they should.
Absolutely. That was an incredible atmosphere.
What an incredible scene.
Incredible atmosphere.
And again, not to keep beating the damn horse to death, even though it's already decrepit. But my God, if number 15 does not go down, that blackout goes down in history for one of the best games in Nebraska football history.
Incredible atmosphere.
What are we talking about?
Incredible atmosphere.
And well executed. I was talking every little detail was taken care of. We're talking about student section signs. We're talking about section organizers. We're talking about
flags outside the stadium,
flags, T-shirts,
the end
the entire
zones,
crowd,
the end. All of it.
I can't even get my family reunion to convince themselves they're all the same Jacobsons. But yeah, we got 90,000 people wearing black inside of one stadium. Incredible atmosphere. Good for you, Nebraska. Good for you, Troy Dannon. Good for you, Matt Rule. Way to get it figured out. I am so disappointed this did not work out the way it should have.
Absolutely. It's a huge bummer.
That is a huge bummer. It will go down in history as one of the bigger disappointments in the fact that not because the game was a letdown, but because the stadium was let down because of the environment in which it presented itself. What did I tell you in the pregame? I told you, get Nebraska's fans back into this one and make sure that they are ready and give them a reason to stay in the game.
And they got off to a great start.
My God, did they stay in this game?
Got off to a great start. I mean, you get the 3-and-out on the first 2 possessions for USC. Yeah. You get the touchdown drive in the middle. You hold them to field goals for a couple drives in the first quarter there. Or in the second quarter, in the first half. They did a great job of keeping the fans involved. Yep. I love the commitment from the university on the blackout. It was.
You want to talk about 4 quarters or keeping the stadium involved? This is a 4-quarter game.
It was a great atmosphere. I really appreciate that Nebraska went for it, put themselves out there, and gave them the opportunity to be great. It didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Obviously, you hope Dylan Raiola is healthy going into next week with UCLA.
Yeah.
But at least if he's not, TJ Lateef will have a full week to prepare. There is a lot to be excited about Nebraska football still. and you can still be super disappointed about today. Like,
Yeah.
I'm super disappointed about today. That's not how I wanted that game to go at all.
But and I listen, I'm asking you a very tough question right here. This is going to be very tough. And like we've already gotten into it. We're 29 minutes in, if you can believe it. Well, we're 29 minutes in. We peeled back a part of this onion, but you're disappointed not because of how Nebraska performed. You're disappointed because of what the outcome was, because of what it could have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like that's the part of the onion we're trying to get to the bottom of.
Yeah.
Like we're not saying that, like, unlike 2 weeks ago when we sat on this show and we were telling you from Hurrdat Sports headquarters, we were telling you, man, where was the effort? What was going on in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Like, what was going on? When we told you from Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill in La Vista, when we told you against Michigan, we were like, hey, listen, make Bryce Underwood play in a box. We like, make him beat you in the game. Nebraska did everything possible to win this game, but the things that you cannot prepare for, in which your starting quarterback goes out of the game in the second half and the chance to win the game and take control of the game, in which you cannot prepare for, they lost the game in that sense. Listen, I don't want to be cool with the loss. I am chill with how this game may have ended up, and I don't want to be the guy that's like, hey, listen, I'm cool with losing a game or anything like that, but if this is the way that the game was going to go down, you kind of have to be like, listen, I'm frustrated with Nebraska taking an L, but I can't be mad at the process in which it happened.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I thought Nebraska had every opportunity to win this game.
Yes.
Like, I thought they had every opportunity to win this game. I can't really, like, I can be, and I'm really not mad. Like, I feel like somebody's dad. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Like, I'm bummed out that Nebraska lost.
Yeah.
I wish it had played out differently. I wish that they had gotten an opportunity to go down and win the game the way we've seen in a few different times this year. But that's not how it worked out. Like, I would have loved for TJ Lateef to have this legendary, like, hero drive to win the game for Nebraska. And that's just not what happened. It's also not realistic to expect a backup true freshman quarterback to perform that situation.
Yeah.
I think they gave him the best opportunity that they could, considering he wasn't supposed to play this week. Like, let's not forget about that. It's not just about what happens in the game. It's about what happens all week. During game week, no backup quarterbacks get real repetitions with the first team.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how any football team practices, because that would be a waste of time for the most part. And listen, you're going to have these situations where you're like, man, I really wish TJ Lateef had a little bit more experience with the first team. That's not how football works. That's not how practice works. That's not how preparation works. I don't know what to tell you. If you want to go become a head football coach and figure it out a different way, more power to you. But that's not how anybody operates, because you need your starters to have as much chemistry as humanly possible.
Yep.
That's not the situation TJ Lateef stepped into. If he is forced into action again next week, then he will have that opportunity.
Yep.
And I bet he will look better. And I bet the offense will look better. But that is not a realistic ask at this point because of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
I think you can look at the defensive performance and say, hey, that's a good enough defensive performance to win. I think you can look at the offensive performance until Dylan Raiola got hurt and say that's a good enough offensive performance to win. Outside of that, I don't know what you're asking for. Like, there was a part of me that was hoping that Nebraska would have a huge special teams play to change the course of the game. If I had to nitpick, and really, it's not something I'm looking at and saying it's anybody's fault. If I had to nitpick, I'd say Nebraska didn't win special teams dominantly enough to win that game.
Yep.
Like, there was a lot of people this week who said, hey, if Nebraska's going to win this game, they have to dominate special teams. I thought it was about even.
Let's be clear, not Archie's best game, and I don't want to get stringy on punters or anything. I'm going to offer you a water right here if you need it, because I know you've been traveling with it. Hey, listen, it is bottom of the ninth right now, tied at 4-all. Game 7 of the major World Series. What are we talking about here? Listen, I'm worried about college football. I'm not worried about what's happening in baseball.
Yeah, we're bottom of the ninth. We got one on with the Blue Jays, one out. The Dodgers tied it up with a solo home run in the 8th, I believe.
Regardless, we are Hail Varsity Postgame. We are live from the Beer House here in I almost said Kearney. This is Lincoln.
We are not in Kearney, thank God.
We are not. Well, listen, it would be a longer drive home.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing against Kearney. That's just a long drive home for me.
It is a longer drive home for sure. Nebraska loses 21-17 at home against USC. Thank you for checking us out. We will have this up in the post game. Of course, the podcast channels will be listed on Apple, Spotify, wherever you want to go to. Of course, Ravi Lulla, Austin Jacobson. We haven't even introduced ourselves. That's how frustrated we are with a lot of the people we have right now. All right, I've got a comment on the screen right now. You want to hear from Spunky right now?
Yeah, sure. What do we got?
You don't want to hear from Spunky because you're about to go on a tirade right now. You got a drink right next to you. Make sure you're lubricated up as much as you need to because Ravi's about to go on a rant right here. All right, from Spunky. Need coaches who can coach linemen. Ravi?
You're down to your 4th and 5th offensive tackles.
But the depth, Ravi.
And guess what? How many do you have it up? How many sacks did USC have?
Oh,
how many sacks did USC have?
Don't worry. Sacks. 1.
1 sack, and it was the play where Dylan gets hurt.
Yeah.
You have for half a game your 4th and 5th offensive tackles in the game.
Yeah.
And those 2 guys did not give up a single sack.
Hold on, those must be the starters from the start of the year then, right?
No, they certainly are not.
What?
Teddy Prohaska injured out for the year.
You're kidding.
Gunnar Gatula out for the last few weeks.
And he didn't play in this game.
He didn't play at all in this game. Elijah Pritchett, starting left tackle that got hurt. Teddy Prohaska, gone. Tyler Kanak was in there, and Turner Corcoran is in there. Nobody wanted either of those guys to play at any point this year. Fair?
Yeah.
Nobody wanted those guys to play. And guess how many sacks they gave up? Goose egg. Oh, they must have. Oh, and they still ran the ball effectively.
Yep.
Like, what are we talking about here?
If I told you Nebraska won the sack battle 3-1, what would you have said coming into this game?
I would have felt pretty good.
Yeah.
I would have felt pretty good.
Listen, I've heard from many people. Listen to Hurrdat Sports Live every single day. Check out a couple of other shows. Make sure I check out the USC channels. 90% of what I listened to, what I read up on, what I was studying for this week, they told me, listen, Nebraska gives up 10 sacks. Nebraska gives up 3 sacks. They lose this game. Nebraska gave up 1 sack.
1 sack.
Oh, I wonder what the difference maker was. And I hate to keep beating the goddamn horse, Ravi, but seriously.
Starting quarterback got hurt.
If your 15 doesn't go down, Nebraska's in this game, and not only gets this game, I'll say it, they win this game. In an alternate universe right now in Hail Varsity Postgame, I'm sitting here in Beer House. I'm having a great time. I'm drinking all these Kincaid Snow Beasts, and I'm having a fantastic time because Dylan Raiola led a game-winning drive, but that's not the world that we live in right now.
No, we live in a world where Dylan Raiola gets hurt, and he was ruled out during the game, and we sit here and go, I don't know what that looks like for next week.
Yes.
I have no idea. I don't know what Elijah Pritchett's injury it looks like for next week. I know both of them were doing their best to try and get back in the game. But we're sitting here, and I don't understand. I don't understand what we're talking about. The guy that coaches, and I'm not even going to continue to belabor the offensive line point because I think that's just stupid at this point. I really do. I don't know how you could sit there and watch your 4th and 5th string tackles not give up any freaking sacks and be like, oh, we need a guy that can coach offensive line play. I need you to have eyeballs to not be a moron. That's what I need.
But Ravi, the answer is to fire someone after this week.
Always. Always have to fire somebody.
Oh, please tell me, Ravi. Please tell me the first person we should fire after this.
How has that worked for Nebraska in the past? How's that work? Everybody, shouldn't have fired Frank Solich. Oh, well, okay, well, that happened. It's gonna. Well, nobody was mad about firing Callahan. All right, but shouldn't have fired Pelini. How'd that work out for Nebraska? Nobody was mad about Riley. Shouldn't have fired Riley. Oh, now you get Frost. You got Frost. What?
No, people are mad about Frost.
What are we doing?
Come on.
What are we doing here? This is not a situation where firing fixes things. If that's the decision they make after the year, that's fine. But I don't understand how everybody thinks the only solution to a problem is to fire people. The defensive line coach was coaching defensive linemen that were in the freaking Super Bowl last year.
Yes. Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs defensive line coach is now Nebraska's defensive line coach. What are we talking about?
All right, so from the stands himself, our very own Lee Jacobson hanging out here in the crowd here at Beer House. Lee was in the crowd. The blackout was fantastic.
I was.
Tell me from the fan perspective inside the stadium, where was the main level of frustration in a loss to USC?
The fans showed up.
Yes.
We were there.
Yes.
We brought the energy for them. We had all that going on for us. I'll tell you what, on the other side of the ball, there were some plays that were called. I think there was a little out-coaching going on there.
Oh, no. No, Lee, don't do this. Now Robbie's going to get mad at you, Lee. Come on, don't do this.
Robbie, this is coming down from generations, though. Because my phone was blowing up because Granddad was calling saying,
Okay, let me ask you this. Because I assume you are Austin's dad. Am I gathering that correctly?
No, he is Lee Jacobson.
Oh, I don't listen. There's a lot of Jacobsons in the world.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. So let me ask you this. So you're in the moment. You're watching this. you're mostly frustrated with USC's running game. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair. Yeah.
What was the other main point of frustration if you're as a Husker fan in the stands today?
Well, about after the third time the quarterback takes the ball after this corner.
Maeva. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so again, the running game for USC.
Yes.
Okay, so I understand that they run for 200 yards. That's a lot. What if I told you, as an offense, they had 200 fewer yards than they average on the season? What if I told you as an offense they had 21 fewer points than they average on the season?
And I get that. I understand that totally. But
Okay, we'll hear you out. Yeah.
But this game wasn't the entire season. This was the game.
Okay.
And you call the game for what the situation you're in.
All right.
And they called a play where they flea flickered it back and they caught us off guard.
That's fair.
Now, we should have been ready for it because they were lulling us into this run that you're talking about, and we knew, and so we overran it, and they popped that one. Now that was one play.
Well, and I totally understand that. What if I told you
We're just trying to get the full perspective
on
here. I promise you.
On the TV angle, Nebraska had a player covering that guy, and he didn't make the play. Is that a coaching thing or is that a player thing? They had Rex Guthrie is running with that receiver, and he's right there and doesn't make the play.
But if you watch it, he stalls a little bit because he thinks it's a run.
Yeah,
He's got that half-second stall, and that gets that guy off.
Sure.
Second one was, we're under 2 minutes. They put a spy on our quarterback. We have an injured quarterback. They put a spy on our quarterback. They knew they were going to run that quarterback sneak up the middle.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
I mean, that was just obvious. I knew it.
Yeah. Fair.
We just got it. I'm just saying, just those little tiny things that did that. And the other thing is I don't know if you guys saw. I mean, you probably watched the game, but it was probably during the timeouts. USC's coach is just in the ear about. I mean, every one of those refs, he was in their ear.
Really,
we could all see it.
Yeah, we didn't get that much of a
everything.
TV copy. No. Yeah.
No, they mostly showed Rule yelling at the refs on the TV copy.
It was on the other side, but he was in every one of their ears. Every time they were on the sideline, he would pull them over and talk to them.
Can I ask you? So, being in the stadium and everything, what was you're in it, right? Like, so you're a part of it. You're doing all that stuff. What was the peak of the game then? Like for the crowd, like. Is the crowd in all 4 quarters? Or okay, that's what we thought. That's what we thought.
When Raiola went out, we were pumped.
Oh, even when Latif went in, it was still going. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, in our minds, even the people around us were saying, "Okay, they don't know about this guy."
That's the Latif guys. Yeah.
I mean, there was chants going around. We were trying to get everybody pumped up for him because we knew that if he would if he would pull that ball and he was going to run, he had some speed and he showed it.
Yeah, he had a couple plays where he did. Yeah.
He might have wanted to dump it off a little bit, but young player, but we were like ready for this because we thought, they're not ready for him.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. All right. Appreciate your time. Thanks, Lee.
Thanks. It's nice to meet you.
Really, we were talking to my dad in the third person that way. Got to do what you got to do. It was Lee Jacobson, father. Papa.
Yeah, I think what we heard.
He's wrong, by the way.
I think what we heard there is exactly what I'm talking about, though. Is the emotions of watching a game in person in the stadium are way different than like taking a step back and saying this is what actually happened.
His whole comment, and you asked him perfectly, because him saying, like, you laid it out. You're like, if I told you USC got 200 less, if you would have asked him 4 hours ago, USC gets 200 less yards, 100%. He would say, listen, I'm taking that every day of the week.
100%.
Yeah.
And you could tell, and this is not bagging on your dad at all.
Please do. Honestly,
you could tell in his delivery when I gave him that information that what it came down to is just we don't like what happened. We don't like what the score was.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't like what the score was either.
Same.
None of us do. But you could tell when you're in the moment there that the facts matter less than the results.
Yep.
Right? So you can sit there and say, hey, I'm super frustrated with how this played out. I'm super frustrated with all these things. But it, like, sometimes you didn't do anything wrong. You just lost. And I think that's something we have a really hard time dealing with as not just as Nebraska fans, every fan base, right?
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago, Alabama fans are chanting for Nick Saban to be fired because they're losing to Georgia and whatever. Like, I understand it. There is emotion to being a fan. I get that. But sometimes nothing like there's no one to blame. Sometimes like Rex Guthrie just needs to make a play on the flea flicker. And sometimes the flea flicker is a good call. Yeah. Like sometimes it's just a good call.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to pretend like I remember the exact scenario, the exact time or anything. Jane Maeva on third down. Lincoln Riley calls a double right guard, right tackle pull to the one side of the field. Maeva takes a read option the opposite side. Cam Blenhart squeezes too far down, doesn't keep himself vertical on that read. Maeva makes a great play, runs in for a touchdown. I tapped you on the shoulder. I said,
great play call.
Lincoln Riley's
great play
caller. And you know what? Off a bye week, Lincoln Riley, you know those are going to be the plays that are made. Nebraska should be very frustrated where they are after this game, for sure. But should they beat themselves up the way they did after Northwest or after Minnesota? Should they feel so down and mistrodden that they're not where they should supposed to be?
This is not a back to the drawing board.
No.
This is not listen, USC's good. USC's a good football team. Minnesota, I still do not believe was a good football team.
No.
So that's the difference we're talking about here. And this wasn't an effort issue.
No.
Like Nebraska showed up.
Yeah.
And it didn't go our way. And that happens sometimes. And that's okay.
Our good friend Mike Schaefer, as he said before, hey, listen, a lot of people have said Nebraska this season is an 8 or 9 win team. Ravi, is 8 or 9 wins still on the table for this Nebraska team?
It absolutely is. It absolutely is.
We got a strikeout at the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs now on the board. Our bases are loaded.
I think somebody just got thrown out at home.
Oh no!
I think somebody just got thrown out at home for the
Let's
Blue
see what we got.
Sorry, you're getting a. Yeah, I think.
They did. Oh no!
Oh, that's a force too. Oh wow!
Boy.
2 down, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded.
The Hail Varsity Postgame baseball analysis. You never thought you. Oh, wow. What the tap! Look at that, baby!
Wow!
Oh, come on now!
Unbelievable play by the Dodgers to stay alive for one more out, it appears.
How many people are double screening us with the World Series?
I would imagine all of them.
Everybody. 90,000
I would imagine
minimum.
all of them.
90,000 minimum. Hey, by the way, I know I've said it before. We're at a good friend's beer house right now. Is this foot on?
Oh, it came back down. It came back down, I think.
Is he safe?
Did it come back down in time?
Oh, no, his foot came off.
Oh, it came back down.
Oh, no.
Did it come back down?
I don't know if it got back in time.
Dude, look at the runner's foot, though. The runner's foot is up also.
Let's see. Oh, nope. Toes on. Toes on. Oh, my God.
I think he's out.
That's out. That's an out. 100%.
The runner's foot's above home plate. He doesn't get there. I don't think. God, this is incredible. Sorry. This is Game 7 of the World Series.
It's not fun on Hail Varsity Postgame. We get to do baseball play-by-play for you guys.
It is Game 7, bottom of the ninth, tie ball game, 2 outs.
Hey, you know what, BLT? I see you in the chat. I'm going to put you on right now. Playoffs are not in my table, my friend. You know what? We're watching World Series right now, BLT.
That was unbelievable. Like, literally, the wild thing about that is if the runner runs through home plate, the game's over.
Yeah.
Because the only reason he was out.
We got a fly ball in the left field. Can the catch be made? It is caught. It's caught. That's out 3. We are on to the 10th.
In a collision.
We are on to the 10th here in the top of the World Series. We're playing in Toronto.
Dodgers center fielder and left fielder collided in the gap, and the center fielder comes down with it. Unbelievable. Holy cow.
Wow.
If you think you feel bad as a Nebraska fan right now, how are you going to feel if you're a Blue Jays fan and you lose this game?
Blue Space Jays fan.
Yes, not a Creighton Blue Jays fan.
No, this Hail Varsity Postgame.
No Jayskers here.
No.
No, but I think.
All right. You know what? Here, let me get to reset. Hail Varsity Postgame. USC wins 21-17. We got a break in the World Series. What positives do you take from a game like this? Because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Unlike Minnesota, which was mostly upsetting.
No positives.
This is a game full of positives that I'm frustrated to try to find, right? Yeah. Because I'm so upset with what happened in this game that I almost don't want to be like, well, Emmett ran the ball actually well. I thought the play calling was pretty good. There are legitimate positives to hold because
I mean, listen,
the main positive is that, or I guess the main
Emmett
negative.
Johnson was incredible.
The main negative is that
They
something
lost.
that was
That's it.
Yes,
That's the only that's the only real negative.
the one thing that was taken out of control of the entire game was an injury.
Yeah, well,
That's
I
the
would
biggest
argue
frustration.
2 injuries, even though I think the backup tackles did a great job.
Yes.
I would argue the 2 injuries were critical in this. And
Yeah.
listen, I know it feels stupid to say the only real negative was the loss.
Oh, Spunky, positives. You're not serious. Please, positive me up right now. Spunky, you stay on the stream as long as you can. I will make you a positive man by the end of this. Spunky, man, woman or child, I got you. I got you, Spunky. Don't you worry.
I understand that, but like if you're a process oriented,
What, I can't fist bump a friend?
no, it's cool. If you're a process oriented program, then sometimes you can do a lot of things right and still not end up with a win, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things right was Emmett Johnson had a great game.
Yes.
Emmett Johnson had a phenomenal game.
How many times have we asked Emmett Johnson to carry the ball 29 times to a victory for us? How many times?
I don't think he's ever carried 29 times in his life.
So what are
Or
we trying to
certainly
do?
in his
What are we
career.
trying to do here?
I think he had a great game. I thought he played phenomenally. I thought he did super well. Number 2, Sierra Wright, holding Mekhi Lemon to 2 catches for 18 yards. Like,
They were afraid to go to a half of the field. We're talking Revis Island
with their
level
best,
of cornerback
with their
play.
best receiver.
Yes, an NFL top 32 pick.
Bring up Maeva's stats on the game
Please,
for me.
I will,
Bring
yes.
up his passing stats.
Jaden Maeva, 9 of 23. 9 of 23?
Incredible.
That's the first time I've said that tonight.
Incredible.
135 passing yards, Ted, an interception. 39% completion percentage.
40 of those yards came on a gadget play that they had to do to get anybody open.
I've been waiting all day to say this. Mekhi Lemon, more like Mekhi Lime, 2 receptions, 18 yards. Total target rate, 4 yards.
Like
4 yards.
the job of Sierra Wright and really the pass defense in general for Nebraska
Yes.
was unbelievable.
Oh, you mean the pass defense that a lot of people nationally were saying, well, it's because you can run the ball on them, Ravi. That's why.
Sure, you can run the ball, and you still end up 200 yards under your total yards. They ended up 200 yards under their total yards, and all 200 of them were from the passing game. They were averaging almost 320 yards passing per game coming into this season, or coming into this game.
And 2.5 scores below their season average of points per game. 2.5 scores.
And a full 2 scores below their in-conference number, right? Like this was a good defensive performance.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody else says. This was a good defensive performance.
Yeah.
This was a good enough defensive performance to win the game.
Fly out to left. Dodgers
deep
get the
warning
first out.
track.
Yeah.
This was a great.
Oh, sorry, Blue Jays.
This
Yeah, Blue
was
Jays
a.
get first out.
This was a really good defensive effort, a good enough defensive effort to win the game.
Okay,
this was
hold
a
on.
great effort by Sierra Wright. This
Yeah.
was a great effort by Emmett Johnson. Like, if you want the positives, they're there to find. Did Nebraska play flawlessly? Obviously not. When they got the interception on Jaden Maeva, when Andrew Marshall got that interception, they turned it right back over. That's an opportunity Nebraska has to put the hammer down.
Yep.
They have to score there. I understand it. I would argue the second possession of the game where Nebraska's up 7-0 and they get the ball back around midfield, I would love him to not be as conservative there.
Yeah.
They ran 3 straight times on 3rd and 8. It was a QB keeper or an RPO. I would love it if Nebraska wasn't as conservative there and went for the throw in that moment.
I
right?
agree. I agree.
But
Hey,
I
we
also
sat next to each other. We said it live. I can confirm. All right. I can confirm.
also understand that in this game against the team with a hyper explosive offense,
Yep.
that they wanted to play it a certain way.
Yep.
And I think they played it that way. They played it to keep USC without a ton of possessions and without a ton of time. And I thought they played it very well. They didn't end up winning the game. Obviously, that's the big negative outside of the injuries. But honestly, besides that, I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
You would love the rush defense to be a lot stingier. I get that.
Yeah.
But when I look at the total defensive effort, you have to give up something.
Yeah.
They chose to take away Maeva in the passing game and Mekhi Lemon. I get that. You can't take away everything. That's not how football works. At this level, that's not how football works.
Weirdly enough, Ravi, you can't just go into every single game and just be like, hey, listen, we're going to stop everything. They have no chance. I mean, the number 1 USC offense in college football. I can't say that enough.
Other teams score points and get yards.
Yeah.
Always.
All right.
There is, listen, unless you're playing Houston Christian, Akron, one of these teams, the other team is going to score points and they're going to gain yards. And when it is the literal top offense in the country, and you hold them to less than or to half of what their average of points was, and 200 yards below their season average, I don't know how you can be mad about the defense.
And
I really don't.
To put this in more perspective, I know it's the number one college football offense. They're going to look like pretty efficient at certain times. But if Nebraska had their offensive production of most of the season, they would have 155 yards of total offense in this game.
Yeah.
And I know, again, like it's like, oh, Austin, that's all hyperbole. No, USC would still look pretty good. Half of your offense is still frustrating to an offensive-minded team. All right,
especially one with Lincoln Riley.
2 questions in the chat. One from Robert. I got one for you here.
Okay.
Barney, 6 yards on 3 catches. Are we starting to put Ja'Cory Barney on a milk carton?
Listen, I thought the targets were better, especially early.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is Nebraska only threw the ball 22 times. They only had 98 yards of total passing offense.
Yep.
So when your leading receiver has 5 receptions for 30 yards. I think the passing offense, you could have argued, was on a milk carton a little bit. Nobody seems to be mad about that.
Yeah.
Because they ran the ball really well, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I really am. Like, I thought that was the game plan against Northwestern. It worked. I thought it was the game plan against USC. It was working until you lost the threat of the pass for the large part when Dylan Royale went out. So I don't think it's milk carton necessarily. I think they were trying to target him. I think they had some opportunities to target him. I think when you don't have your starting quarterback for half the game, you're in a tough spot.
We got a single up the middle. We got runners on first and second, 1 out top the 10th. The Dodgers are on the defensive side, obviously. Toronto has the 2 runners, 1 in scoring position.
Nope, Dodgers are hitting.
Oh, man.
Dodgers are hitting.
Look at me. God, I'm dumb.
What are we doing?
I'm dumb. Well, it's because it's a football postgame show. All right, second question.
We
here.
also have a terrible angle here.
Yeah, this one is from George. Quick question, Mr. Ravi.
What's up?
How many backup quarterbacks have beaten Nebraska since Rule arrived? Quote, unquote, I'll wait. In my Cat Williams voice, not going to impersonate this because I like my job. So why can't we Husker fans expect the same out of our backups?
Is Nebraska in the same place as the teams they've been losing to for the last however many years?
I know what George.
Program?
I know what George is going to try to get to. He's going to say, "Well, Ethan McManus came in 2020 and won a game." Sure. I know that there's a couple of other backups that have won games from lesser programs.
Yeah, sure. Those programs have all been better than Nebraska over the last how many years? True or false?
Wow.
Those programs have all been better than Nebraska over the last how many years?
It's true.
True or false?
It is true. It is true.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Like Nebraska is, and how many of those programs would take TJ Lateef in a heartbeat?
Most of them.
Right?
Most of them.
Okay. Like I understand, like this can both be a good football player and a guy that was not wasn't going to be ready in this position against the top 25 team. Like we remember USC's good at football, right?
Yeah.
Was Nebraska at any point in that stretch a top 25 team when they're losing to backup quarterbacks?
No.
Okay, so what are we talking about here?
I know.
What are we talking about?
All
here?
right, you got me.
Like I don't. I get it's frustrating, but we are not comparing apples to apples. Like we're not.
Yeah, you're right. Apples to oranges, what we're doing. Okay.
We're comparing apples to turd sandwiches. That's what we're doing.
Our good friend Rico is here. Rico, why don't you hop on this third mic for me really quick? We are Hail Varsity Postgame.
Oh, by the way, if you want to talk about like coaching losing games, Miami is a college football playoff contender. They were.
Why would you do that?
Like Miami was a college football playoff contender.
Yeah.
They had everything in front of them. And guess who blew the game for them?
Don't do this.
Like, what are we talking about here? Mario Cristobal is largely the reason they lost to SMU, I think.
All right.
Like, what are we doing here?
What are we arguing about
Rico,
right now?
Do you want me to get Ravi extra mad?
Oh, yeah, I would love for you to get extra mad.
Our good friend Rico is here at Beer House Kincaidor in the Haymarket in Lincoln, in which Miller North grad Ravi did not know was in the Haymarket. Ken E., our good friend from Hurrdat Sports 5, says, "Hey, Ravi, Signetti did it. Why can't Rule?"
Is it possible? Is it possible that Signetti's just that fucking good? Is it possible? Has that crossed your mind ever? That'd be like, hey, Saban didn't. Why can't Rule? Like, what are we talking about? Like, Signetti is just better at this than everybody. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Also, let's not forget, like, it's easier to do a thing at Indiana where nobody gives a shit after November 1st because they're a basketball school than it is to do it at Nebraska where we talk about this 24/7, 365. I know because it's my job, okay? And not just my job, but it's been the thing I've cared about since as long as I can remember. I know. Nobody in Indiana cares that much.
Get 'em.
Nobody. You know how how much easier it is to do when there is zero expectations?
Get
the
'em.
expectations for Indiana was to make a bowl game eventually.
Get 'em.
That was it. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
And then, Cignetti is that good. I hate him.
Get him.
I can't stand him.
One more time.
I wouldn't put him on. I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire.
What?
But he is that good.
What?
He's the Dan Hurley of college football. I hate him, and he's incredible. Okay? What are we talking about?
Get him.
I don't understand. Oh, this is large. Almost any program in the freaking country would take Curt Cignetti right now.
Tell him.
Almost every single one. And you're like, well, the best coach in the country did it. Why can't we?
How many?
What are we doing? What are you talking about? Oh, Cignetti did it.
Who?
Urban Meyer did it.
Where?
Nick Saban did it.
Who?
What are you doing? God, put the drink down. Jesus.
Get him.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm here.
No, it's great. I'm glad that you're here. Hey, listen, you were in the crowd too.
I was. It was electric, dude. The atmosphere was electric. The blackout was fantastic. Nebraska needs to do that again. Don't let the loss scare you away from wearing these jerseys again. Scare you away from wearing black jerseys again. It was amazing.
It looked incredible.
It was fantastic.
The visuals were incredible.
The atmosphere was made. The balloons looked the balloon release was chef's kiss.
Take that, helium.
It was, take that. I don't, I'm not gonna stop right there. And the fans loved it. The recruits on the sideline were having a blast. The light show was amazing. All of it put together, obviously would have only been better if there was a win. But from my vantage point, despite the defense getting gashed multiple times for big runs, they only allowed 21 points. They did not play bad.
Thank you.
The defense did not play that bad. The offense struggled a couple points, but when you lose your quarterback and your left tackle, the first drive of the second half or whatever it was, it's going to be tough. You're throwing a true freshman into a Big Ten environment against a top 25 team coached by one of the best offensive minds in football who just happens to have a really good run defense. And, your quarterback is a true freshman. He's got some good legs, so they're going to run the ball. They're not going to put TJ Lateef in there right away and start chucking it down the field. That's not going to happen.
You don't want him out there dicing up the defense?
No,
you don't want him to play
no. And even then,
reading coverages and audibling, you don't want him to do that?
He's in his first year at Nebraska. It's going to be tough. So you want him to run the ball. You want him to hand it off to Emmett Johnson, who's running incredibly, and you want him to take it with his legs. The only problem is you can only get so far doing that when the defense knows, all right, they're only going to run the ball. They're not going to pass it. TJ Lateef has a cannon, but it's tough for him to read the defenses and get to where he wants to get it to. We got
to force out.
Toronto got out of a bases loaded 1-out jam. They're going to the bottom of the 10th. They got a force out at home for the second out, and they got a force at first for the third out on a dicey. Oh God! That's
listen,
close.
This game's on Fox. If you're on YouTube TV, you can watch this game.
Yeah,
you don't have I want you to stay here. I really do. But dual screen this. Do not take our play-by-play by any means. Watch this game for yourself.
You gotta have us and baseball. It's very necessary. But anyways, back to TJ Lateef.
Oh yeah, you're still talking.
Everybody loves.
Hit him.
I got words. I know we're not on radio, and I can say the words, but I'm not going to say the words. I ain't going to say the words. All right.
What am I? Your radio? Was that what you're trying to say?
Okay. Anyways, TJ Lateef. Everybody loves a backup quarterback till the backup quarterback has to go in and actually do something. The crowd, the section I was in, turned on him real quick.
So I wanted to ask you about this. Where were you in the stadium?
We were in North Stadium.
Okay, so
we're in front of the big board.
In front of Husker Vision. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you're taking in that whole environment.
Yes.
You mentioned you don't want that environment to go away. You want to bring it back, all that good stuff, right? Just in total, when was the peak of the crowd?
Ooh. 14-6. The Emmett Johnson run, as soon as he ran it into the end zone, electric.
It felt like Nebraska was going to win the game at that point. It felt like Nebraska was
at that point, I'm like, there's no way Nebraska loses.
Enrico, remind me, Who was in at quarterback for Nebraska at that moment?
That would have been TJ Latif.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding. It was Dylan Raiola.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, number 15, by the way.
TJ,
no big deal.
They got a field goal out of some TJ drives. Unfortunately, if Dylan stays in the game, I know this is not a hot take. If Dylan is in the game, they win that game.
Yeah.
I don't think that's really a
Listen, you're saying the same things that we have said either directly or indirectly.
I agree.
It's not hard to say.
Emmett Johnson was running fantastically. Dylan Raiola was spinning.
Can't give him 40 carries though. He had 29 carries.
And this is also something.
He had 29 carries.
I saw somebody complaining about USC's on their fourth string running back. Okay, it doesn't matter when you're on your fourth string running back when your offensive line is opening up holes the size of Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Like, it was disgusting how King Miller was getting the ball and just running forward.
All right.
Also, Emmett Johnson, when he got the ball, had to make some moves right away.
Also, would we like to talk about how Nebraska ended up on their fourth and fifth string tackles?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It was fine though.
Yeah,
honestly, it was way better.
You gave up one sack, and that was unfortunately the sack that your quarterback got injured.
Yep.
But you have a running back that goes for 165.
Yep.
With a depleted offensive line. You have one sack in the game with a depleted offensive line. For your fourth and fifth offensive tackles, pretty damn good.
Look pretty good against one of the better run defenses in the Big Ten at least.
Okay, so to bring it kind of back to where obviously it's a loss, 21-17 loss to Nebraska. Somehow, some way, they had players or position groups that did not play up to snuff. Is it safe to say that the defensive line was not up to the par tonight?
Yes.
Is that the fair place to look at?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would.
Obviously, Nebraska lost this game as a team. Yes, but there are individual units that I felt played a little bit below par, and I think it starts with the defensive line, does it not?
Here's the thing with the defensive line. They are not currently good enough to win those types of matchups without some help, right? Without having a 4 or 5 man front where you're bringing some extra help, where you're loading the line of scrimmage a little bit more aggressively. They're not currently good enough. Now I think they will be. I like the guy. I like Riley Van Poppel a lot. I like Keona Davis a lot. I love Williams Winery. They've got guys in there that I think will be good enough at this eventually.
I don't know, Robbie.
They're really young.
You just named 2 or 3 guys who literally did not have their name mentioned tonight.
That's fine. And I said they're currently not good enough to be able to do this. I think they will be eventually, but that eventually is not today. So here's your conundrum if you're John Butler and Matt Rule and Nebraska. Do you want to load up on the run and give Jaden Maeva opportunities to pass the ball and beat you through the air? Or do you want to count on your pass defense to hold up, create an umbrella, and understand you're going to give up some things in the run? Because if the defensive line by itself is not good enough to stop the run, which I think we all agree they are currently not, fair, right?
Yep.
If we agree that is not the case, then you have to be willing to give something up. Nebraska chose to give up some things on the ground in order to make sure the passing game was shored up. And they did, by the way, because he only threw for 135 yards on 9 of 23 passing.
And a lot of it came on the flea flicker.
40-plus yards came on the flea flicker. So, and listen, that still counts. Those yards still count.
Yep.
That's fine. So I'm going to, 9 for 23 for 135. And you sit there and you go, okay, they accomplished what they were going to, right? It only becomes a problem if you're loading up on one thing and still giving up that one thing.
All right.
They didn't. They gave up almost nothing through the air. Mekhi Lemon got Jack Dick for yards today.
He is one of the,
I'm not kidding you, he's one of the best receivers in the freaking country.
Yep.
And
that's when you say freaking?
That's your choice?
Well, I only said the F word once.
We said Jack Dick a minute ago.
You really did.
Neither of those are swear words. They're just first names.
All right, DB. Same page.
They are just first names. No, he's
okay, Richard.
He's one of the.
My knees hurt.
He is one of the best. He's one of the best receivers in the country. He got nothing. Okay, he got nothing as a receiver today. 2 receptions, 18 yards. If you're loading up on one thing, you have to win that area, and they did. At the end of the day, the defense gave up 21 points and 337 yards. Those are winning numbers.
Well, let me give you more winning
Nebraska
numbers.
didn't win.
Except you didn't win.
But those are numbers that are good enough to win with.
Yeah,
one flea flicker does not hit. Jaden Maeva throws for 18 of 22.
8 of 22.
8 of 22 for 86 passing yards. That would be his numbers if one flea flicker does not connect tonight.
And
That's
by the
crazy.
way, they don't get a touchdown on that drive.
But if ifs, ands, and buts were candies and nuts,
then Dylan Raiola wouldn't have been hurt and Nebraska wins this ballgame, right?
Yes.
Like, I understand that.
Listen, we turn injuries off. Nebraska wins this game.
Yeah, there was.
And again, I don't want to play ifs, ands, and nuts, candies and nuts, whatever. I don't want to play that.
I
game.
don't either.
We
My
play in the real world, but like in a game in which Nebraska has 4 quarters of their offensive and defensive schemes, especially offensive, when it came into running the ball or throwing the ball, whatever they want to do. I'll even go as far as this. I don't know. Like, Dylan Raiola's injury is gigantic.
Yes.
Like, I'm not going to make light of that by any means. And I wish that he was there to maybe potentially have a fourth quarter drive. Elijah Pritchett going down 2 plays later, and you have to basically, you have to
retool your entire offensive line.
Circus chairs your entire offensive line in the middle of a play.
They took Corcoran and put him over to the left.
That's what I thought they would do.
And then they put Kanak over at right.
Oh, and remind me, how many Power 4 plays has Kanak played this season so far?
Not a lot.
If any.
The same as TJ Lateef, probably.
Probably. You're probably right.
You're asking 2 guys to make significant plays in maybe the biggest, most critical teeter-totter game of the season for Nebraska
against a ranked team and the top offense in the country, just as a reminder.
Yeah. And I don't want to get too far. Listen, our chats, listen, I love it. Spunky, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for that, Spunky. I know that you want to be against us. I'm
What's
for
going
that.
on?
But I'm going to say this.
My thing's not loading.
I'm going to say that he's not hardwired right now. He doesn't either. I'm going to say this right now, and I know Robbie's going to agree with me. USC is going to get so much more credit for this win than Nebraska ever would have.
Yes.
For sure. And again, Nebraska can win this game. I get it. Nebraska is going to get so more SHIT for this loss than than USC is going to get for this victory.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, if Nebraska would have won this, it would have just been, USC is on the fringe of the top 25.
Yes.
It doesn't really count. They're
Does that even count as breaking the streak?
Slope. It doesn't really matter, this and that. But USC gets this win. I can't wait to see how much more love in terms of college football playoff they're going to get just for getting this win at Nebraska, at a blackout, regardless of Dylan Raiola not being in the game. Look,
all right, Robbie, you ready to go off on a tangent again?
I'm just saying, I'm going to warn you here. Like, you can't keep gassing me up and then get mad when it happens.
All right, Robert and Chet, they needed to develop some effing depth. How much depth do you want in the fourth string?
So they need to develop depth. As Ravi said, you've kind of got a patchwork offensive line that only gave up 1 sack. Your depth at quarterback, you have a true freshman who is there, and it's a really good true freshman. That the entire stadium and a lot of the stadium and a lot of people outside of the stadium wanted him to play for quite some time. Actually, he gets in the game, and now all of a sudden, you need some depth. He gets in the game, and all of a sudden, he's not good. That's crazy. Yep. It's almost like the backup quarterback is the most popular person in the state, regardless
until
of what
he
happens.
has to play.
Until he actually has to get in the game.
Let me ask you this. How many, let's call it what it is.
And hold on, before we get into it, not an indictment on TJ Lateef at all.
Not at all.
Not an indictment on TJ Lateef.
So for
in
them
2 years, I'm thrilled to death for him to start in 2 years.
For them cutting the playbook down to whatever they had to cut it down to for the true freshman, he did really well.
Yes.
He had 2 bad plays.
Let me ask you this.
And then tripping Emmett Johnson.
If Nebraska sucks as much as everybody in the chat seems, right? Let's call it what it is. They're an unranked team playing a ranked team, right?
Yep. They're supposed to lose this game.
Hold on. How many unranked teams in the country beat a ranked team with their backup quarterback? Oh, wait. You tell me. How many unranked teams in the country beat a ranked team with their backup quarterback?
Great way to put it.
Like, either Nebraska sucks and should never won this game, or Nebraska's good and should have had some depth at quarterback. Like, which one is it?
It depends. Who's Ohio State's backup? And maybe we can unrank them.
Julian St. Clair? I don't. But that's the best team in the freaking country.
Let's see. Alabama. No, Alabama.
Let's go. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Yeah.
Oh wait, they're freaking ranked too.
That's a top 10 team.
Like, what are we doing?
Crazy how that is.
Like, how many unranked teams in the country beat a ranked team with their backup quarterback? You just tell me. Just tell me. Let me know.
Absolutely none.
Austin's having a whole other ass conversation over here.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Austin, we're live. You know that,
I
right?
know. Sorry.
We're still on the show,
I was
right?
talking to my Sydney friends.
Hi, Sydney friend.
Hi, Sydney friends.
This is Macy.
Hi, Macy.
Yeah.
Would you like to be on? Do you want the headset?
All right.
Macy, were you at the game?
I was not at the game.
Did you watch the game?
I watched part of the game.
What part did you watch? First half or the second half?
Well, like both.
Okay. What? I don't know why we did this. What do you have to say about the game?
I think it was a great game.
Okay, all right.
This is riveting.
That's Sydney's finest, Macy. All right,
Shout out to Sydney. Shout out to Sydney, Nebraska. Love
Macy.
that. Thank you. Thank you, Macy. Appreciate that.
Good luck and Godspeed.
And I know we've hit on this, but being in the stadium and seeing the defense in person getting gashed play after play, and then still finding a way to get stops when it mattered most, holding USC to 2 field goals in the first half. And really, the time that the defense started falling apart was about the time that Dillon went down. And really, your starting quarterback goes down and can't go back in the game. That kind of takes the air out of a team.
And not just that, but like they still really didn't give up that much.
No.
They gave up 1 score in each quarter.
Yeah.
Like they gave up 1 in the third and 1 in the fourth.
And like you said, that run by Jaden Mayava, the play call and pulling the right side and him keeping it and going around the end, like that's just a great play.
Unbelievable play.
That's just a great play.
I don't know. Listen.
And if you want to get on the defense about that, if you want them to send pressure and go into man coverage,
that's what's
going to happen.
That's going to happen.
Your defensive backs are not going to have their eyes on the quarterback. They're going to have their eyes on their man. The quarterback, if he breaks contain and starts running, they're going to get yards.
No matter what you do on defense, if you are trying to be aggressive, there are things that will be able to get you.
Yes.
That's how defense works.
Well, and especially against a dual threat quarterback, as we have a shot to left field.
The Dodgers just took the lead.
5-4.
The Dodgers just took the lead at the top of the 11th.
And a 2-out solo home run by Will Smith,
who just toe tapped that to get the out in the bottom of the 9th.
DJ Jazzy Jeff himself found a
way.
way.
Keep my team's name out your mouth. Oof, that's what he just said. I'm going to let you guys get back to postgame.
Wow. All right, Rico's out of here. Thank you, Rico. Appreciate that.
Honestly, I'm rooting hard for the Dodgers here just so I have a palatable morning on Monday with DB.
Yeah, Monday's going to be a tough day for you if the LA Dodgers don't figure out
I need him to hold this out. I need him to hold this out here.
Man, okay, so this is our longest post-game show by far right now. We're at 1 hour and 16 minutes. Thank you for tuning in. We are right here at Hail Varsity Postgame. We're here at our good friends at Beer House. We appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.
Love the hospitality.
Amy dropped us some Snow Beast Kincaders here. I don't know if you're a Snow Beast guy,
we'll find out.
Yeah, so try the Snow Beast here, but we appreciate it. We thank you for the hospitality and everything.
Thank you, Amy, for the Snow Beast.
The World Series ongoing. The Dodgers are up, top of the 11th, 2 outs, 5-4.
That's a tasty winter beer.
I've been trying to get to this for like a little bit here. Let's see. GB says in chat, Rule says in his pressers, he tells the team every week it's going to be a back and forth game until the last possession. How about tell them we step on the throat when we turn them over up 8? And I think part of this is part of the contest in which Nebraska kicked a field goal and missed the field goal in which they were at 4th and 1, maybe a chance to go for it.
I'll be with 17-6.
I know what you said. When you said earlier, you're like, hey, kick the field goal, you give yourselves the best chance. I wouldn't have hated if TJ Lateef had a moment to say, listen, I know I only have half the field. I know we can probably only run read option right here. I'm good with our offense trying to say, let's get 1 yard at home in a blackout and see what we can do.
Well, listen, it's a 52-yarder, so that's not a given. That's not a given you're getting the points.
You're right.
Right? Like, so I don't mind kicking it there. I probably, like, I'm okay with that thought process. Hey, we're up 8. Let's try and step on their throat. Like, that's a fair
game. Make it a 2-score game.
That's a fair criticism. Now, kicking a field goal also makes it a 2-score game, to be fair. But like, I'm totally okay with that criticism of let's step on their throat. Let's go for it. EJ was running the ball well.
Yep.
Like, I have no problem with that. You want to hand the ball off to EJ? What I don't like, and what it looked like they were going to do there, is I'm sick of the Heinrich Harburg short yard. Like, I'm out on that. I'm out on it.
We said it maybe a week or 2 weeks ago. We got to stop doing tricks on that thing.
I'm good on it.
We got to start just.
You want to line it up and give it to EJ? I'm cool. You want to do the Heinrich Harburg thing? I'd rather kick the field goal. Is that fair?
Yeah. I'm for it.
Like, that's a fair criticism. Step on the throat. I thought, again, I brought this up earlier. When Nebraska's up 7-0, they get their second straight 3-and-out with USC. I would have loved it if they had been more aggressive on the play calling around their own 40 and had really gone for it. They ran 3 straight plays. It was the kind of strange QB keeper on 3rd and 8.
Yeah.
He gets 5, and you're like, I don't really know what we're doing here.
Here's the crazy part. It's clearly not worked so far. It like, you have a proven track record of it not working, and they still continue to be like, one of these days it's gonna figure itself out. It hasn't figured itself out yet.
Like, there's a couple places where I would have liked them to be more aggressive. Sure, I'm fine with that. I also know that if Nebraska still doesn't win this game, that people would have criticized them and be like, well, why didn't EJ get the ball in those situations? So, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, and we play the results game, and that's fine. It's a win or lose business. I totally understand that. But I'm not going to be mad at the process because of the results. Yeah. I thought that, I would have liked to be more aggressive there. I agree with whatever GB's name or whoever it was.
Yeah, GB.
Right?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'd love to try and step on the throat. I also wonder if Nebraska feels like they're in a place talent-wise against a team like USC that can score a ton of points and can score in a hurry.
Yep.
If they felt like they were in a position where they felt like they could step on the throat.
Yep.
I don't know. I tend to agree with you though. I would have liked to see a little bit more aggressiveness there.
I thought, let's take everything pre-Dylan Raiola injury, pre-Elijah Pritchett injury. This felt like a winning offensive formula for Nebraska. They controlled line of scrimmage, time of possession. Emmett Johnson, even through the end of this game when he wasn't getting as many yards as possible, 29 carries, 165 yards, 5.7 yards per carry.
Yeah,
that is a winning formula of football in the Big Ten Conference.
And by the way, I believe this puts him over 1,000 on the season. I believe he's now at 1,002 on the season.
Wow,
he was at 837 coming in. I think he needed 163 to get over 1,000 for the year. I believe he's at 1,000 for the year.
Okay,
great year for Emmett Johnson. He's.
And how many times have we said, Nebraska has a 1,000-yard rusher?
Not a lot
since Ozigbo.
Not a lot. Ozigbo. Divine Ozigbo. No, I thought. Listen, Emmett had a great game. I don't know how much more you can hand him the ball. He had 29 carries.
Yeah,
maybe a handful more times. Be like, I said this earlier. You want to say, hey, Mosey, Nelson, let's get them a few more carries? Okay, I'll listen to that. What's up?
You're not going to like this. Keep going on.
No, go ahead.
William asked, should John Butler be terminated, yes or no?
I think it's time to end the show.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, come on. I've done this. We've done this already.
Okay, all right.
I'll do it one more time for you.
Please.
USC came into the game averaging 42 points and 530 yards. They had half that many points and 200 fewer yards. I don't know what you want me to do there. The defense played good enough to win the game. Full stop.
Okay. You know what? We've been talking about this being more of maybe not necessarily a positive game because it's still a loss. We've said this before, but let's be completely crystal clear as much as we can be. If you're listening right now, wherever you are, however you're listening, however you're consuming this, it's a loss. We're not happy with the loss. Nebraska will not be happy with the loss.
Never.
There are still positives to take from this game. Dylan Raiola, his end stat line, I'm a bit surprised with this.
10 of 15, 91 yards, one touchdown, no picks.
67% completion percentage, regardless.
Below a season average.
Deep shot to left field as this one will be thrown in. Bottom of the 11th. You got a runner on first and second. Just on second now.
Leadoff double for the Blue Jays as they try and tie this one back up.
Yep, no outs. And I'll admit, although it's not statistically a great day for Dylan, if Dylan's able to come back healthy, this is a winning percentage for Nebraska. I do personally feel like because
I thought the game plan with Dylan was a winning game plan.
And we've seen this before too, and we've talked about this as frustrating as it is for Nebraska fans. If you're once you get comfortable in this one-score game type of nonsense that Nebraska seems to be getting into, you will get comfortable once you recognize the numbers that are winning numbers. Dylan Raiola going 10 of 15 for 67% of completion percentage and a touchdown. Don't look at the yards. 91 passing yards is not great. I agree with that. But if you look at it in the sense of, okay, well, they went 10 of 15 in air raid offense, you wouldn't feel great. But if they went 10 of 15 in a game in which they had 165 rushing yards from the lead running back, you're like, okay, they controlled the game. They controlled the pace of this contest. You have to feel good about, okay, play calling is where it needed to be, and they controlled the game for as much as they could have.
I thought the types of plays they were calling, the types of pass plays they were calling for Dylan were much better than they had been in some previous weeks.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more aggressive than it was against Northwestern, but it wasn't as time-consuming of drops, as time-consuming developing of routes as it had been in previous weeks where he was struggling.
Yep.
I thought they did a much better job with that this week. I thought there were the types of plays and the types of play calls that Nebraska could win with. I really, if he doesn't get hurt, I thought they had a game plan to win this game.
Yep, I agree. All right, defensive line improvement for future weeks. You've got UCLA on the docket. We haven't necessarily confirmed that. I haven't checked on social media, but last I checked, before the game went final against USC, it looked like it was going to be almost an 8 p.m. Central Time kickoff.
Brutal.
Thoughts?
Hate it, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not my decision. But
Let's be honest. Nebraska's not going to get any benefits from the Big Ten Conference.
No, and I don't even know why. Like, I don't know where that one's going to be network wise. That I have no idea what the TV network plan is going to be there. But listen, that's a game where Nebraska's just got to go out and take care of business on the road against UCLA. That's all it is.
Yeah.
UCLA is not as good of a team. Again, I said this about Michigan State after the Michigan loss. We'll find out a lot about Nebraska next week. We found out a lot about Nebraska during the Michigan State game. We'll find out a lot about Nebraska during this UCLA game and how they bounce back from this loss. I do think it's going to be really interesting to see what Dylan Raio's health situation's like. But even if he isn't able to play, I do think that TJ Lateef with a full week of preparation is a different TJ Lateef than having to come in on short notice in the middle of the third quarter.
I agree. And I think there's another part of this, and the easy question is, okay, what does Nebraska look like without Dylan Raiola? It is a different offense. I think that's easy to say.
Emmett Johnson might have to carry the ball 35 times. I don't know.
And listen, when you're on the road and an 8 p.m. kickoff and your own central time, all that good stuff, when you get on the road, you worry about those sort of problems. With a week of preparation, Nebraska should be able to handle business next week. And really that is a test. If you want to ask yourself, tonight is not the night to ask yourself, did Matt Rule deserve an extension? Did Matt Rule deserve this? Is the program trending in the right direction? After tonight, the question you should ask yourself is, Nebraska ready for next week? Because now the cards are stacked against you. If Dylan Raiola cannot play on the road against UCLA, if your program is trending in the right direction, you still should beat UCLA on the road.
You'll find
Nebraska will still be favored on the road next week. I guarantee it.
You'll find out a lot about where the culture of your team's at next week, regardless, one way or the other.
Yes.
I 100% agree.
Yeah. And if you don't believe that, then I don't know if you've been watching this team fully. Like that's if you just want to be a hater and you just want to talk about all the narratives and all the negatives, that's fine. You can do that.
And I fully expect them to come out and win that game and beat UCLA, regardless of who's playing quarterback.
Yep.
You can put Jalen Grahamsat in there. I think they win against UCLA.
All right, we're out of good friends here at Beer House. I think we've ran our course. We've done what we can.
Yeah, I'm losing my voice here. I got to finish this Snowpiercer.
There you go. Snow Beast.
Oh, yeah, Snowpiercer's a movie or something. I don't know.
Chris Evans. Blue Jays, bottom of the 11th, 5-4. Dodgers are up. We'll see what happens there.
Blue Jays have runners on the corners with one out.
Ducks on a pond, as the kids say. All right, so I want to get you out on this one. Give me 2 positives, 2 negatives. I'm not going to make you do 3. 2 positives, 2 negatives. Nebraska loses 21-17 against USC.
2 positives. Run game, Emmett Johnson in particular, Sierra Wright, and the pass defense in particular.
Okay.
Oh, they're going to turn 2 here. That's the World Series champs, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Your Monday show would have got a lot easier.
Thank you, God. 2 negatives. Defensive line has to do a better job of taking care of the run game on their own and making life easier for the second and third levels. I think they have to keep their assignments a little bit better and not get vertical when they're not supposed to. I think that's a
I guess this counts as a gold medal.
I forgot that the Blue Jays were from Canada for a second. I was very confused.
They weren't going to the White House.
I think the run defense, the defensive line in particular, needs to figure out a way. They need to figure out a combination of guys on that defensive line, whether it's running a 4-man front, 5-man front, whatever it is, to be able to hold up better against run teams, which, by the way, USC's a really good running team.
Yeah.
By the way, that's real. There's a reason that we were afraid of Wayman Jordan and King Miller and all these guys coming into it. But I think the defensive line needs to play better throughout the rest of the season. Second negative is the health of Dylan Raiola. I mean, that looked to me like not a great injury, the way his ankle got kind of bent up under him. Obviously, if he's hurt long-term, that hurts your chances for the last few games of the season.
Yep, absolutely. That's Ravi Lulla. I'm Austin Jacobson. This has been Hail Varsity Postgame. We waited until the end of the World Series for you guys. October is officially wrapped up. November 1st this year. We'll be back again next week, November 8th. On what appears to be a very, very, very late night of Hail Varsity Postgame. Until then, you can check us out on the podcast pages at Hail Varsity, at Hurrdat Sports. You can check us out on the YouTube channels there, as well as Hail Varsity Postgame, wherever you listen to your podcast, whether it is on Spotify as well as on Apple. You can check it on Amazon too. And if you're looking for more, you can also check out the Hurrdat Sports Hail Varsity channels for all of the content that you missed out from this week. Hurrdat Sports Live is bright and early, 7 a.m. on Monday morning. Ravi Lulla, Damon Benning. For Ravi Lulla, myself, Austin Jacobson, we will see you again next time as Hail Varsity Postgame wraps up. Nebraska falls 21-17 at home. in the blackout. Have yourselves a very safe and rest of your Saturday night.